She can still love you. She can still miss you. She can still look at old photos when no one is watching. And she can still decide that she never wants to come back. That sounds like a contradiction. If love is real, shouldn't it make people stay? Shouldn't loving someone mean fighting harder, forgiving more, and holding on longer? Not necessarily, because one of the strangest things about human relationships is this. Sometimes people don't leave when love disappears. Sometimes they leave because love is no longer enough to compensate for what staying is costing them. And that changes the entire question. Imagine a woman sitting alone at a kitchen table late at night. Her phone is beside her. There is a message from the person she loves. Nothing dramatic has happened tonight. No screaming, no betrayal, no slammed doors, just one simple message. Are you okay? She stares at it. She wants to type yes. She also wants to type 5 paragraphs explaining why the answer is not. Instead, she locks the screen. And for the first time, she thinks something that scares her. I love him, but I don't know if I can keep doing this. This is where many relationships become confusing. Because from the outside, we tend to imagine love as a giant emotional battery. If there is enough love, the relationship keeps running. If the relationship ends, the battery must have died. But human attachment doesn't really work that way. Love is only one system inside a relationship. There is also trust, safety, respect, hope, emotional connection, shared effort, and perhaps most importantly, the belief that tomorrow can be better than today. Think of a relationship like a house. Love might be the warmth inside it, but trust is the floor. Respect is the walls, communication is the plumbing, and emotional safety is the roof. You can absolutely love the warmth of a house while realizing the roof has been leaking for 3 years. Eventually, love does not stop you from getting wet. But here is where things become more interesting. People rarely leave the moment a problem begins. They often leave after the same problem has happened so many times that their brain changes what it expects from the relationship. Imagine this. At the beginning, she says, when you disappear during arguments, it really hurts me. You apologize. Maybe you mean it. A month later, another argument happens. You shut down again. She brings it up again, then again, and again. At first, she is angry. Later, she becomes sad. Later still, she becomes strangely calm. That calmness can be misunderstood. You might think, great, we're finally fighting less. But sometimes, fewer arguments do not mean the relationship is healing. Sometimes they mean one person has stopped believing that arguing will change anything. Psychologists often talk about something called learned helplessness. The idea is simple. When someone repeatedly experiences a painful situation and repeatedly feels unable to change it, they may eventually stop trying, not because they no longer care, but because effort starts to feel useless. Picture a stick figure pushing against a locked door. The first time, she pushes hard. The second time, harder. The 10th time, she kicks it. The 50th time, she sits down. The door has not become less important. She has simply stopped believing it will open. And this leads to a strange relationship paradox. The moment when someone looks the least emotional can sometimes be the moment they are closest to leaving. But that is only part of the mystery. Because if she still loves you, why doesn't that love keep pulling her back? To understand that, we need to look at what the brain is constantly calculating inside close relationships. Not consciously. You don't sit across from your partner with a spreadsheet say, affectionate +8, unanswered messages -3, cute breakfast +2, forgot anniversary, catastrophic quarterly loss. But in a rough psychological sense, humans do track emotional rewards and emotional costs. Researchers studying relationships have long found that satisfaction depends not simply on whether good moments exist, but also on patterns of support, conflict, responsiveness, expectations, and whether important needs are repeatedly met. In other words, she may still experience love when she sees you, but she may also experience anxiety when you become distant, loneliness when she needs support, exhaustion when every conversation becomes defensive, confusion when promises and behavior do not match, and eventually, her nervous system may begin associating the relationship with stress as often as comfort. That matters, because romantic love is not just a thought, it is also a biological state. Your brain and body learn patterns. A certain tone of voice predicts a fight. A delayed reply predicts anxiety. A particular silence predicts rejection. Even before anything happens, the body can prepare for danger. Heart rate changes, muscles tighten, attention narrows, You start scanning for what might go wrong. So imagine loving someone whose presence also repeatedly activates your stress system. That person can feel like home and like a fire alarm. At the same time, that is emotionally exhausting. And now we arrive at something even more surprising. Leaving may not happen when pain becomes unbearable. It may happen when hope becomes unbelievable. There is a difference. People can tolerate enormous difficulty when they believe it is temporary. Think about climbing a mountain. Your legs hurt, your lungs burn. You keep moving because you can see the summit. Now imagine climbing the same mountain while someone keeps moving the summit farther away. That is a different experience. Relationships often survive difficult periods because both people believe, we are working on this, we understand the problem, we are changing, we are still moving forward. But if the same wound keeps reopening, the question slowly changes. At first she asks, how do we fix this? Later, why does this keep happening? And finally, is this simply what my life will feel like if I stay? That last question is dangerous because it shifts the decision from love to identity. She is no longer only asking whether she loves you. She is asking who she becomes beside you. Does she like that version of herself? Is she always anxious? Always waiting? Always explaining? Always forgiving? Always shrinking her needs to avoid another conflict? Imagine a stick figure standing in front of a mirror. At first, the mirror shows someone energetic, playful, confident. Month by month, the reflection changes. Less laughter, more tension, more hesitation. Until one day she recognizes something painful. I'm spending so much energy trying to save this relationship that I'm losing myself inside it. And this is where people often make a major mistake. They heard, I need to choose myself, and translate it as, you are never important. Those are not the same sentences. Choosing yourself does not automatically erase love. Sometimes it means acknowledging that a relationship is asking you to repeatedly violate your own boundaries. A boundary is not a punishment. It is simply a line that says, this is what I can participate in without harming my well-being. And boundaries become especially important when words and actions repeatedly disagree. Imagine hearing, I love you, but also being ignored whenever you express hurt. I love you, but promises are repeatedly broken. I love you. But every serious conversation somehow becomes an argument about why you should not feel the way you feel. Eventually, the phrase can begin to lose its power, not because the love is necessarily fake, but because the brain gives enormous weight to patterns. A single wonderful weekend cannot always erase 6 months of feeling unseen. One apology cannot automatically erase the expectation that the same thing will happen again. This is why consistency is so powerful. Our brains love predictability. Predictability creates safety. When someone's words and actions reliably match, you do not have to constantly guess what reality you are living in. But inconsistent affection can create the opposite experience. Warm today, cold tomorrow, close this week, distant next week. Affection after a fight, then silence. This kind of uncertainty can sometimes make attachment feel even more intense. Not healthier, more intense. There is a concept in behavioral psychology called intermittent reinforcement. A reward that arrives unpredictably can make people keep trying for it. It is part of why slot machines are so compelling. You never know when the reward will come. Relationships are obviously far more complicated than slot machines, and human attachment cannot be reduced to one laboratory mechanism. But unpredictable closeness can create a similar emotional loop. She waits, she receives affection, she feels relief, then the connection disappears again. So she tries harder. For a while, this can feel like passionate love, but over time, passion mixed with uncertainty can become exhaustion. And here is the part that can be hardest to accept. Sometimes the person who leaves has already been grieving the relationship while still inside it. The breakup may feel sudden to you, but not to her. Imagine two people walking together. One of them does not realize the path is ending. The other has been noticing the warning signs for miles. She may have imagined the breakup months ago, rejected the idea, cried about it privately, tried again, lowered expectations, raised them again, talked to friends, argued with herself, remembered the good years, felt guilty, made excuses for you, made excuses for herself, and slowly practiced living with the possibility that love and leaving might have to coexist. So when she finally says, I can't do this anymore, you are hearing the conclusion. You may not have heard the thousands of internal conversations that came before it. That does not mean every breakup is justified. It does not mean one person is automatically innocent and the other is guilty. Relationships are systems. Both people can contribute to unhealthy patterns. Sometimes people leave because they avoid intimacy. Sometimes expectations are unrealistic. Sometimes mental health difficulties, stress, trauma, incompatible goals, or poor communication shape the outcome. And sometimes, two decent people simply cannot build a relationship that works for both of them. There is no scientific rule saying, women leave for this exact reason. Human beings are far too complicated for that. Gender can shape relationship experiences through culture, expectations, communication styles, and social roles. But no woman comes with a secret instruction manual hidden behind her left ear. Still, one principle appears again and again across healthy relationships. Feeling loved is not the same as feeling emotionally secure. You can love someone who does not know how to listen to you. You can love someone who wants a completely different future. You can love someone who repeatedly hurts you without intending to. You can even love someone while recognizing that remaining together brings out the worst in both of you. Love answers one question: do I feel deeply connected to this person? A sustainable relationship asks many more. Can we solve problems together? Can I trust you? Can I be vulnerable without being punished? Do you respect my limits? Do our futures fit together? Can we repair damage after conflict? And perhaps the biggest one, when something hurts you, do we actually change the pattern? Because apologies matter, but repair matters more. Imagine knocking a glass off a table. It breaks. You say sorry. That is good. Then tomorrow, you put the glass in exactly the same dangerous place. It falls again. You apologize again. By the 10th broken glass, the issue is no longer whether you are sorry. The issue is whether anything changes after you become sorry. Real relationship repair usually requires more than regret. It requires understanding what happened, taking responsibility, listening without immediately defending yourself, changing behavior, and repeating that change long enough for trust to rebuild. Trust rarely returns because of one emotional conversation at 2:13 in the morning. Trust returns because Tuesday is different, then Wednesday, then next month, then the next argument. This explains another breakup mystery. Why might she leave shortly after you finally promised to change? Because she may have heard that promise before, and by the time your change becomes urgent to you, her hope may already be exhausted. This can feel deeply unfair. You think, but I'm serious now. She may even believe you. She might believe you will become more attentive, more mature, more emotionally available, and still leave. Because the question is no longer only, can you change? It may be, do I have enough emotional energy left to wait and find out? Those are different questions. And there is one final contradiction. After leaving, she may suffer enormously. She may cry. She may miss your voice. She may want to text you. She may wonder if she made a mistake. None of that automatically means the breakup was wrong. Pain does not prove a decision is bad. Sometimes pain simply proves that something mattered. If you remove a splinter from your skin, the removal can hurt. That does not mean the splinter belonged there. Human beings can grieve decisions they know they needed to make. We grieve cities we chose to leave, jobs we chose to quit, versions of ourselves we chose to outgrow, and people we still love but cannot continue building a life with. So if you ever find yourself asking, how could she leave? If she really loved me, maybe the more useful question is not, was the love real? Maybe it is, what became stronger than the reason to stay? Was it exhaustion? Loss of trust? Feeling invisible? Different futures? Repeated conflict? The loss of hope? Or the realization that love alone could not repair the structure holding the relationship together? And if you are still inside a relationship right now, there is something worth noticing. Do not only pay attention when someone is about to leave. Pay attention while they are still trying to explain, while they are still frustrated, while they are still asking for change, while the arguments still contain hope. Sometimes anger says, I still believe you can understand me. Silence may mean something very different. Love is powerful, but love is not a magical substance that cancels loneliness, disrespect, incompatibility, fear, or repeated disappointment. A healthy relationship is not built only by finding someone who loves you. It is built by creating a place where that love can survive. And perhaps that is the uncomfortable truth behind why someone can love you deeply and still walk away. Sometimes leaving does not mean the love disappeared. Sometimes it means they finally accepted that love was the only thing left.